Panharith, I guess you can start.
Okay, maybe I can start now.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, it's okay. We can hear you. We can hear you well.
can can you see my slide? Can you hear my slide? Can you see my slide?
No.
No?
Yep.
Okay, how do I share? Okay. Okay, can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, let's start. So, hello everyone. My name is Panharith. Um, the a graduate. I'm a graduated from MOS department last year from Paragon University, and I'm currently studying master degree in computer science at Hunan University in China. So today, what I'm going to talk about is the fundamental working of image classifier. So before we start this, let's look at some current technology that exists in image recognition or computer vision. So we comes so we came a long way in this technology from just simple stuff into now we are able to detect image, detect object in an image and identify what it is, or even read the text from an image and see what it is. And this technology allow computer program to perform tasks that look so human, like it feels so intelligent. But with all of this, you may have one question: how is it possible that computer be able to do stuff like that? Uh, First, let's start simple. Uh, let's look at a picture of a handwritten number. So to us, it's simple. We can understand that this is number 3. Although each picture is drawn a bit differently, we can still identify that they represent the same concepts or the same value, and other picture that represent different value. But let's say I ask you to write a program that take in an image and then identify what number it is. So suddenly this task just become from simple into dauntingly almost impossible. Uh, so, so since we want to make computer imitate human behavior, so what we should do is let's look at human first. So let's look at us. We see this picture and then we immediately know that it is number 3. But what about us when we were little? We don't know that this is a 3 yet. And at one point, this concept has been taught to us by either parent or teacher. They show us the picture and then they tell us that it's number 3. And over time, our brain just remember that this pattern represents number 3. So this raises a question: can we replicate this in a computer program? Can we write a program that represents a human brain, and can we uh, write a program that represents a human brain, and then we give them a bunch of picture of number so that later on it will learn to identify that what number it is based on the picture given. Uh, but when you think about it, this definition is so sparse. It's not detailed enough. And for me, I like to look at detailed image of something. I want to know the mathematical equation that allow this thing to happen. And maybe some of you join this morning speak, and I see someone ask a question like, do you need to know all of this? Do you need to be good at math to be able to build this kind of software? Well, the true answer is no. But for me, it's still interesting to see like what make all of this possible mathematically. So let me introduce you to a concept called neural network. So neural network is a structure consists of multiple neurons interconnecting with each other. So as the name itself, this concept is inspired by the brain, the human brain or animal brain. We have something that is, so the neuron itself is not intelligent, but if we have a lot of them and then we make them work together, they can accomplish tasks that seem so intelligent to us. So let's start simple. Let's start with a, a neuron with two layers. So, uh, so when we look at this and this formula, so imagine this is one big function. So to get this value, you need to input these two value and then multiply it with the weight and then sum it up together. This you would get another value. This is just a basic function. It is not smart yet. And why do we do this? Well, if we were to write a function that takes in image itself, we need to know how computers see an image. So the way computers see an image is as a list of function value. So this value represent the pixel, the pixel color. As for this one, it is a grayscale image, so the value represent is it black or white. And if it is 1, it is white, and 0 is black. And the number between those is represent like some gray shade. So imagine if we can write a program that that take in the pixel value. So in this case, so imagine if we have a structure like this, and then this the first layer take in the pixel value of an image, and then it's process it, and then it gives us back probability of what it think that that picture represent by what number. So it would be cool if the system like that can be built or exist. So you take in image like that and you do computation through each layer, and then you will get the final result of activation, which is the probability of what it thinks the number the image represent. Uh, so maybe the program may look a bit intimidating to approach, but it would be better if we just look at it as an equation, a very big equation. So imagine you have something like this, where this value is represented, so whatever being input in this value will be listed down into the next layer value. And how you compute it is by multiplying and adding the input and the weight together. So we can simplify this by metric. So this is just a simple form to represent a neural network model. So if such system exists, we would be able to it would be possible to write a program that can do some prediction like that. But this is a lot of value. Like if we just put all of this value at random, like how do we know what weights to put so that the answer is correct? If we just put random, the prediction would just be random as well. It would be useless. So how do we teach a program to understand what is the correct weight? Because when you look at that, if we look at the program as a big equation, this equation is too big. It has like a lot of value. So you would need to adjust this much value so that it fit in better with, so that the prediction that come from multiplying and additioning of the model is accurate. It is what we want. So this is too many to adjust by yourself or manually. So as what programmer do, we like to automate stuff. Or maybe to look at that, let's see how a baby learn to guess to identify number first. So first we will just show it a number and then it make some random guess. And then we compare does the guess is correct with the number or not. If not, we tell them it is wrong and then tell them the correct answer so that it adjusts itself. Just like the program, we cannot just go into the baby brain and rewire everything. So how do we teach the program? How do we tell the program that it is wrong? I mean, for baby, you can tell it verbally. But for program, you need mathematics to tell that it is wrong. And that's this type of mathematical equation is called loss function. So take into consideration this formula where so pi is what is the ground truth, is what the number represent truly, and then the pi with the head is whatever the model predict. So if we subtract, so imagine if the model predict like this, then the value L would be so big. So we can tell that it is wrong because L is big. And if the model predicts something like if it predicts something like this, the value L would be small, so that we can let the computer know that its prediction is close to correct. But how do we make adjustment? So this is a bit mathematically intensive, but the way we make adjustment is we try to optimize this L value. The smaller, the better. And in most optimization problem, it can be done with derivative. So this is just a derivative of L function, and then we adjust the weight accordingly so that the value gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So this might be a bit confusing. For like, how do we even code that? Like the concept itself is confusing enough. So fortunately, so when it comes to coding this, the first question I would ask is like, where do I get the data set? So luckily, there are a few group of people who compile a lot of image handwritten number data set, and they label it already from this data set. You can search it for yourself, and then for the model, there is a lot of library that you can use to implement the model, the neural network model, and the one I recommend is Keras and TensorFlow. But how do you use it? So this is just some coding sample of what I implemented as a image number recognitor. So this is just like how you load the data, and this is just like the model I just showed. You can just build the entire model with this. There's no need to code it from scratch. And this is the function you use to predict image. So conclusion. So neural network allow computer software to perform tasks that seemingly very intelligent to human. And they done that by mostly mathematical equation and optimization of the error. And through the model I show you is just one part of the entire research field. There are so many fields that there are so many other models that is being created that suit for different purpose of the prediction, such as convolutional neural network for object detection, or there's recurrent neural network for speech analysis. And there are still many research area available for this field, but to go through the research itself, understanding of basic mathematics is important, and it's mostly take practice to just go and learn all of this stuff. And I think that's it for my presentation. Feel free to ask me if you have any question. Do you take? I think the math itself. I admit that it's a bit complicated to understand, but however, it is not the however it is not a requirement. Just that if you just want to make machine learning model that can that just work, you can use other library. But if you want to go to research and build some new model, then it would be important to understand this math. Uh, I would say, what is the basic knowledge that you require for? I would say first is so mathematically wise is you should learn linear algebra, calculus and statistics and probability. And for coding, you need some coding skill as well to manipulate the data and prepare the data for the model training. Yeah. Any other question? For data structure, uh, I think you would need to know some about graph and tree graph theory, but not much because as I said, if you just want to make model, you can use other library. They already build everything, almost everything for you. But in terms of data structure, you will need to know some graph theory, and I think that is all you need to know about data structure.
Hi, Panharith. Can you tell us
Yes.
a little bit about the research or project that you are working on right now?
So as for currently,
Mhm.
my my research in Hunan University is focusing on the recognition of container number, the number of container that is presented in the picture.
So it's like the application is like when there is a label on a container, so then your research is try to read and
Uh,
recognize what the number is.
yes. So the research I'm doing with my supervisor at Hunan University right now, focusing on building an application that can recognize the number of the label or the ID number of the container that is presented in a video, like real time video.
Okay, thank you. Yep.
So any other question?
Can they ask you in general question as well as you're studying overseas?
Oh, yeah, of course. And also, currently I'm also working as a freelance web developer. So if you have any question regarding to that, you can ask me as well.
Okay, thank you. Yes. Okay, you guys, you can ask questions and so right now you still in China or you back in Cambodia? So how is now your university
Current-
is still running online courses or
so currently I'm still in Phnom Penh. I'm not allowed to go into China due to the current pandemic. And as for university, they are doing online course.
okay, so you still doing your research back here in Cambodia and studying just like our
Uh,
students here as well. Yeah.
yes, yes. Can you give us some idea on how we get projects as freelance? So for web developer, I think the best way to get project as freelancer is from your friends or your local network. Like that is like the best way to start. So advice in university, maybe you should try to make a lot of friends so that in the future you can easily get project from them. Yep, you're welcome. Does machine learning related with algorithm? Uh, yes, because the machine learning itself is an algorithm. So I think if you want to, I think in order to be able to easily grasp the concept of machine learning, you might need some knowledge, some firm knowledge on algorithm first before you proceed into machine learning. And also, machine learning itself require a lot of optimization. So you need a clear concept of algorithm to optimize those kind of model.
I have another questions. You saying that your research is about recognizing a label on a container through a live video, right? So, how did you come up with this topic? Or your supervisor have this topic for you, or you initiate that you want to work on this
Uh,
project?
Actually, this topic, I am not the one who come up with topic. It was given to me by my supervisor.
Okay.
Uh, and I think he has some network with some company, some container company in China, and this was just uh, and this was a sponsored research. that was provided to him.
Okay, I see. Because I think this project is very good because there are a lot of shipment in and out from from the country, right? And this kind of application can reduce a lot of workload by just having a scanning or reading or retrieving information, and by the containers number, you can recognize and automatically feed in and record the shipment very well. Yeah. I don't know if in Cambodia do we have
Yes,
any
yes.
project like this.
I am not sure about that yet, but this actually this there are a lot of methods that is being implemented regarding to this task already. Just that they want to research for better method, like better speed and accuracy.
Oh, okay. So is there any specific algorithm or method here? Because we do have one of our CS final year project. What they're doing, recognizing license plate. Yeah, and they will be presenting
Uh,
the demo later. But yeah, so is there any specific algorithm or the one that you say they want to improve for the accuracy and the speed? Is that what the technology is now? Or
uh, Currently, we don't have any specific algorithm yet. We are still doing more like trial and error to see which model fit better with this kind of task. Uh, because so the thing we are using now is just normal convolutional neural network,
Mhm.
and we are still experimenting with other pre-trained models such as AlexNet and YOLO algorithm.
Mm,
But as for a solid algorithm itself, we don't have any yet. We are still working on it.
okay, thank you. Yeah. Can I switch back to the other part of your web developing or freelance project? So, so mostly your clients are they in Cambodia or they are international source outsource or?
Uh, as for currently,
Mm-hmm,
so since I am in Cambodia currently, and so the semester in China is already end,
mm-hmm,
and I have a few free time. So I do web development for, so the client that I get from web development is mostly just from friend or network I met when I was in Cambodia,
okay, so it's
and the business itself is mainly in Cambodia.
mm-hmm. So it's mean that in Cambodia it's still high demand of having a developer implement websites for local business, right? It's still in a high demand, I guess. Yeah. So how about student life when you become an international student in China? Maybe you can share some of your experience. What kind of things that you need to um, or a trick or a tips for students if they're thinking to be to study overseas in China? Oh no, yes, yeah.
So okay, so let's talk about the difference first
Mm-hmm,
between studying bachelor and master.
mm-hmm,
So when I go to master, the the way they learn itself is a bit different from here. You get more freedom to focus on the subject that you are interested in rather than having fixed schedule and need to stick to it.
mm,
And uh, and about study life, so the environment there, the environment there is a bit better than here. They have quite they have better environment for you to study, and they give you a lot of free time to do your own research.
Oh, so is that because you're studying in the master level? So that's why most of the time they let you kind of self study and meet together to report back what kind of study that you have.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. In master, different from bachelor degree is that they don't require much. They don't require too specific from you. They give you the freedom to study whatever you want. You just need to report the progress back, what you have learned every month to your supervisor.
So usually, how many courses you taking per semester?
So when I studied there, I only have to take 10 courses for 3 years. So
Oh,
which means I've been there for 1 year already, and I took it is 2 semesters, so I took 5 courses each semester.
oh, so you in your first year you finished the 10 courses, like a five
Yes,
per each
in my first
semester.
year I finished 10. Yes, so the requirement for graduation is the 10 courses, and your thesis need to be approved and defended.
Okay. Yeah, because I think you said you have a lot of free time, but count on the number of courses that you take per semester, 5 courses is considered as a lot, right? A lot. But is you're saying okay because
Uh,
you study by yourself and have more free time.
yes, from my perspective, I think those 10 courses, uh, if you have a foundation from bachelor already, those 10 courses would not be a challenge for you. It's more like it's a way for you to go to school and get to know professor there so that you can choose your own supervisor.
Oh,
Because
okay, I see.
the course I studied there, the topic itself is not something that entirely new. It's more like an extension to your bachelor degree. It's something you already learned at bachelor, but a bit more advanced.
Can you mention what are those courses that you took in your first year?
So in my first year, I took advanced computer network, uh, data structure and algorithm, and artificial intelligence, and there's 2 more. Optimization algorithm and digital image recognition.
Hmm. Yep, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I have one question. Can I ask?
Yes, sure.
What would you suggest to a student that is finishing his bachelor degree and wanted to go to study maybe a master degree and is looking for scholarship around? Would you suggest it to the student to maybe look in China or not? What is your experience? So like just to share maybe 1 or 2 minutes your experience as a student that finished MIS here and now is studying abroad. You went through the process of looking for scholarship, how hard it is to find one, what are the opportunities, what were your challenges. So just a little bit of sharing experience thinking about my student, and your juniors that now are maybe the seniors now is already they found their way, but maybe the juniors or sophomore and freshmen they are wondering, and you passed through this and you are living this. What is your experience and your tips for them?
Yes, thank you for the question, sir. So as for studying master degree, so the first thing I would suggest is that you need to have some interest of what you are pursuing first. So as for me, when I saw the scholarship, I applied for it, But then something the most difficult thing for me is to write a research proposal. At that time, I have no idea what I actually want to learn. So maybe before you like, so student, for if you are a fourth year, you almost graduate already, but you need to identify what is your main interest in pursuing in master, like what do you really want to learn from in master degree, because unlike bachelor, they are not going to tell you what you will learn. You are the one who's supposed to tell them what do you want to learn. And for country, this part I cannot make comparison because I've only been to one country, which is China. But from my experience, I think before you go there, it would be better to do some preparation, like learning some local language there first, because my main struggle there when I first arrived there is the language itself. And so if you are planning to go to other country that doesn't speak English, make sure you learn some local language first. And I think that is all. So the first step actually applying for master degree is to just know what you actually want to learn first. Which field do you want to pursue?
Okay, okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, it's very good. Yeah, answer for everyone here.
So does anyone else has any other question?
Yes, I think they're listening. Most of them that I see here, they are CS and freshmen. So I hope they have more questions. Okay, let's see.
Or maybe if you don't have, if they don't have any question now, they can contact me later if they have any future question. I think my contact information is available in the schedule page itself.
Yes, yes. Yeah, they can get your email and contact informations as well. Yep.
Okay. So it's appear that there is no more question here. Maybe uh, let's finish here. And if you have any further question, you can contact me through email or Facebook account in the schedule page. Thank you for attending today.
Yep. Thank you very much, Panharith.
Yes.
Thank you.